Hello class, this is chapter 27, part 5, and in this last video that I'm making for chapter 27, what we're going to look at is the discharge from liability. How does a maker on an instrument, how does the drawer on an instrument, how do they terminate or how do they get discharged from their responsibility or obligation under the instrument? All right, so that's all we're talking about when we are looking at discharge. There are 5 ways that possibly can bring about this release or this termination from the obligation. Right, so the first way, this is pretty straightforward. This is the payment or the tender of payment on the instrument. All right, so if you have a loan from a bank, you signed a note for that loan, and then you pay it off, uh, you will be discharged. The bank should discharge you. All right, let's look at the second method of discharge. The second method of discharge is the cancellation or the surrender of the instrument. Now, if the bank to whom you owe money cancels the instrument and they intended to cancel it, then that will be a good and effective discharge. All right. Now the case here that's from your textbook, I'm going to put it up on the screen, but this is a case where the bank did not intend to cancel the instrument, and so it was not an effective discharge. All right, let me switch out. Let me stop this slideshow, and I'll get the book up on the screen. Can I find it? Here it is. All right, here is the case. It's case in point 27.26. Edith Mark bought a Ford pickup and signed a loan contract and promissory note with Huntington National Bank to finance the purchase. She made 20 of the 66 payments required on the loan when she received the original agreement stamped paid. This came in the mail. So along with the title certificate. So she got these things returned to her, the note and the title. So Edith Mark stopped making payments on the loan. The bank filed a lawsuit. Mark argued that the note had been discharged by surrender. They had returned the note to her. But the bank claimed that the documents had been returned to her due to an inadvertent clerical error. The court held that because the bank did not intend to discharge the note when it returned the documents to Mark, the surrender did not constitute a valid cancellation of the note. All right, so at least you've seen a situation in which a cancellation was argued. All right, let me see if I can get this back for you. All right, and we'll move on to the last slide for this PowerPoint, and we'll look at 3 more methods in which you could find discharge from the obligation or discharge from the liability. So the third way is through reacquisition. If a person who held the instrument previously comes back into ownership after it has been transferred away, so the word for that would be to reacquire the instrument, that will then discharge anybody in between those 2 moments in which the same person is holding the instrument. All right. There's an example I'm going to go over with you in which you'll see this occur. It's an example, or I have given it to you as an additional problem to work through. All right, so you'll see that in that scenario. All right, number 4, impairment of recourse. This would occur as a discharge if someone gives up their right to reimbursement. Maybe it's almost like they're settling a disputed amount, or and so they say, no, I will not collect it from you. And so, but this has to be a right given up by perhaps an endorser or a maker or a drawer or accommodation party, any of these people that could collect on the instrument. Okay, so that's number 4. And then the last one is if the collateral that is attached to the instrument becomes impaired somehow, so that it's not going to be collateral that will be able to be used to pay down the instrument, right? So that could be that the security was not properly attached, as easily a mistake could be made. Maybe someone forgets to file the financing statement, and we have not looked at that yet, all right, a financing statement, but that will come up in chapter 29, and it is the document that is used to secure personal property when it is being used as collateral. So if that's not done properly, that will impair the collection on the instrument, and it may discharge the underlying debt or the liability there. All right, now, to continue talking about discharge, I have taken a problem from the textbook, and rather than go out to the text and read it and then try to walk through it, I just have outlined it here. We'll walk through the problem by looking at what it says. I'm grabbing my textbook here, and you can see that I've sketched it out, exactly the different actions that have taken place. All right, so let me put this, turn the page and read it through with you. All right, this is problem 27-2 from your textbook. Waldo makes out a negotiable promissory note payable to the order of Grace. Grace endorses the note by writing on it without recourse, signed Grace. And then she transfers the note for value to Adam. Adam, in need of cash, negotiates the note to Keith by endorsing it with the words, pay to Keith, comma, Adam. On the due date, Keith presents the note to Waldo for payment, only to learn that Waldo has filed for bankruptcy. And now all his debts will be discharged. Discuss fully whether Keith can hold Waldo, Grace, or Adam liable on the note. All right, so let's walk through this together, applying some of what we just talked about regarding discharge. All right, and also it brings into consideration some of the other concepts that we have looked at. All right, so what do you think here, though? Keith gets the note. He finds out Waldo is filing for bankruptcy. Where does that leave him? Can he collect from Waldo? No, because bankruptcy will discharge Waldo from his debts, including the note. Right? All right, let's take a look at who else Keith can look to pay on this instrument. He can look to Grace, maybe. What did we learn about Grace? Grace's endorsement is going to protect her. Right? Her endorsement, what type of endorsement is it? It has the language without recourse. We know that that is a qualified endorsement. And what is Grace saying with that qualified endorsement? That she is not taking responsibility for whether the instrument that she's transferring is going to be a good instrument or not. That there's money, okay, that there is money behind it. All right, so she has protected herself. She will not be liable to Keith. Keith cannot collect from her. All right, who's that leave? All right, that leaves then Adam. And there's nothing here to indicate Adam has any protection against owing on the instrument. He was the last person to endorse it, and he gives warranty to Keith when he endorses it, and he has no defense against payment on it. His endorsement is what type of endorsement? It's a special endorsement because he transfers it to an identified party, Keith. All right, so Keith will be able to collect from Adam only. All right. Anyone, if you have a question, please make sure you come to talk with me during office hours. And please let me know if I can assist you. Some of these concepts can get a little confusing. Please make sure you review the additional case problems that I am also going to work through on a video with you. All right, I'll be seeing you. Talk